One of the most interesting meetings that I had was meeting Stevie Wonder and Rob Thomas. I used to work at a place very famous here in Manhattan. It was in 47th Street, I believe, in Broadway, 48th Street in Broadway, called Manny's Music. And it's a place where they sold keyboards and recording studio equipment. Before we were purchased and bought out by Sam Ash, it was his own little store called Manny's Music. And I used to work in the keyboard department. I used to sell keyboards. I remember one day, it was a new Roland that came out. I don't know if it was the J1080, the Roland J1080 or something like that. And we had just put it on display, and I'm just testing it out, doing all the connection and the wiring, and a tall gentleman just feels somebody just standing next to me with another gentleman, I guess his assistant, right on his right. And he started saying, "Hey, do you have the new Roland?" Because he was hearing the sound. So he was like, "Do you have the new Roland?" I told him what it was. This is the new J1080. I believe that was the model number. And I set it up for him, the piano. I told him where the knobs were. And he just started playing. Now, mind you, I'm looking at, he's tall. I'm 6 feet. He must have been like 6'4". And here, right next to me, not 3 inches, shoulder to shoulder-ish, because he was taller, was Stevie Wonder. And he's just there playing, we're just talking, he's just there playing, and it's just amazing to be standing next to someone that so many people pay and buy tickets to see and praise. And here I am, and he was so kind. Here I am just standing next to him, talking with him, and explaining to him one of our latest modules that we had. And that was one moment that, and it's so weird that I'll never forget. So weird because instances like that, because you're in that kind of environment, you're not, "Oh yeah, let me get your autograph." That's the last thing I thought of. I respected him and saw him as a person, and that was it. I didn't see him as, "Oh, that's a celebrity, I should do this, that, and the other." I said, you know what? That's not the environment that I want him to feel that he's in. Like, "Oh, here I am with more fans and whatever." He's there to do business, or just to, you know, to listen to new stuff, new gear, and that's what I presented him with. It was just an amazing day meeting him. He was very cool, very kind. So I remember that time meeting Stevie Wonder. And sometime later, I think the Korg had just released their most updated sequencing keyboard. It was a digital 16-track keyboard. I can't recall exactly the model number, if it was the X3 or the XT or something like that. I had one. And Rob Thomas comes in. Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 comes in. He was just as down to earth. It was unbelievable. We're just talking, and he's like, "Hey, will you have the new Korg, this, that, and the other?" I took him over to the keyboard, set up, being that I had one, I set up everything for a song, to record a song. Now, mind you, he said, "I need something for the tour bus," because he's always here and there and wants to work on productions. And I said, "This is the way to go. It does everything but vocals." So I remember after doing like 3 or 4 tracks of some instruments and such, he loved the sound of it. My sales pitch, I guess, which I didn't have to push because I owned the keyboard. I thought it was fantastic. He said, "You know what? Wrap it up." It must have been like $1,500 at the time. He was like, "You know what? Wrap it up." So yeah, working at Manny's Music, I sold Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 a tour keyboard, a 16-track Korg M3 maybe, or T3 or something like that. It was. I mean, the experiences that I went through working at Manny's Music was awesome. Forget about the countless people that came in and out, but those are the 2 experiences that I recall that not many people know of, and that's when I met Stevie Wonder and Rob Thomas.